Good morning. I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is Courtroom 1, Session 1. If I could have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please.
Kathy Kennedy sworn on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
Cody Jordan with the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
King, miss. Can I speak, miss?
No, sir, not right now, okay? This is case number 19, CF
Stop
11.
touching me, bro. Why you touching
Hey.
me, bro?
Excuse me, Mr. King, you can leave if you don't want to have your first appearance. We can reset you for tomorrow if you're going to be rude. Do you want to take a moment? Mr. King? Sir, you were arrested for robbery with a firearm pursuant to a probable cause warrant. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, sir. Your bond on count 2 is $7,500. Your bond on count 3 is $2,500. State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond on count 1?
Yes, Your Honor, we believe the defendant held at no bond based on proof, evidence, presumption, grade. Looking at the four corners of the affidavit written by Officer Jonathan, or Deputy Jonathan Hill, looks like the victim, Mr. Martinez, set up an offer-up exchange to sell a cell phone. He has been speaking to somebody by the username of Makia over OfferUp app. When he arrived, the defendant stated he was going inside to get the cash. He came back out, pointed a black semi-automatic handgun at the victim. He took the phone and entered the house and locked the door. The victim then posted the information on social media where multiple people gave the same story of the defendant and them. Somebody also gave him the Instagram name of the defendant. Based on investigative techniques of the officers, they were able to do a photo lineup and get Mr. Ronald King Jr.'s name and picture. They then put it in a six-pack, at which time the victim identified this defendant as the one that pulled the gun and robbed him of the cell phone.
Mr. Jordan?
Listen, I
Your Honor.
don't do that, bro.
Your Honor, the identification is based on solely the victim. The victim claims that the OfferUp account used in the robbery was Makia, but later, in order to identify the defendant here today, a different OfferUp account, an Instagram account, and a phone number not linked to the original OfferUp account was used to identify Mr. King. Your Honor, I'm simply stating that this is based solely on a single eyewitness identification, which I do not believe rises to the presumption of proof evident, presumption great, simply based on that. The defendant here today does have social media and does possess an OfferUp account, but that account was not used in conjunction with the robbery, and his social media and phone number are not connected to the account linked in the social media, and linked to the OfferUp account used in the robbery. I would also note that while it provides the address that the robbery took place, it does not explain how that address is connected to the defendant here today. And I would also point out that the picture used in the photo, the photo lineup, the victim himself is the one who told the police officers, this is the social media account of the person who robbed me, and they used that alone in order to come up with a photo lineup and include him in the photo lineup. So, of course, the victim was able to identify the person whom he identified as the perpetrator, but based on that alone, there's no other witnesses, there's no link to the
I don't believe that's incorrect.
original.
I don't believe they used it doesn't say that.
No, they didn't use the picture. I'm just saying that the victim himself seems to be doing half the detective work here.
Well, Your Honor, I think it's reasonable to believe that most people do not commit crimes in front of cameras, witnesses, and everybody else. It was a one-on-one transaction between the victim and a defendant.
Miss, I
And that
never
victim-
committed this crime.
Okay.
I'm
Mr. King,
sorry.
that may be true.
I'm
Listen,
sorry.
I
I never
have to tell you
committed it.
what the allegations are against you. That's what today is about, okay?
But I'm saying there should be no probable cause because I ain't take nothing from
I
nobody.
think at this time, the state has met their burden based upon the information in the probable
Please.
cause affidavit, not only the victim's statement, but the other identifying information based upon the social media and other accounts. So, Mr. King, at this time, your bond is gonna remain at none on count one, and I'm not gonna exercise my discretion to set a bond. Thank
Your
you,
Honor, we
sir.
ask for no contact with the victim, even while he's in custody, and if he does get released, no contact, obviously. no
Mr. King, you're not to have any contact with Antonio Martinez or possess any
Man, I
weapons or
don't
any
know who the
firearms.
fuck that
Thank you,
is,
Mr.
bro.
King. Thank you.
Fuck you talking about?
Good morning, your name?
Alexander Glover, ma'am.
Mr. Glover. What about Mr. Anderson?
Behavior?
That's 19 ML 142A. I'm gonna find a waiver of Mr. Anderson's appearance based upon his failure to come to court today. Mr. Jordan, I'll appoint your office. If you want to go talk to him and bring it in for a plea later on this week, we can do that.
Okay.
Bond will stay at 250. You're Mr. Glover, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Glover, you were here in 19 MM 6564. You were arrested for assault on a law enforcement officer, trespass on property after warning, and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
You said attorney.
Yes.
Mr. Glover, you can't go back to the Dollar Tree, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm gonna stay the bonds at 500, 100, 100. I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond cases at this time.
Thank you, Ron.
Oh, okay.
Sir, good morning, your name?
Your Honor, we might need hearing
Oh.
aid.
Okay, do you need the headphones, sir?
I don't have eardrums. Got blown out on the roof fall.
Sir, good morning, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You were here in 19 MM 6573. You were arrested for battery, disorderly conduct at a public establishment, and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, and you're not to have any contact with Lisa Getsky, and you're not to return to the Wawa at 3100 South Orange Avenue. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your bond on count one is 500, your bond on count two is 100, your bond on count three is 100. Thank you, sir.
Your attorney can file a motion.
Good morning, ma'am, your name?
Laura Marie Adams.
Ms. Adams, this is 19 CF 10760. It looks like you're here because the bondman has endorsed your bond or has come off the bond
Okay.
on this case. I'm gonna reset your bond at $500, ma'am.
Okay. Is that for the
Possession.
VOP? The,
No, it's the possession of Xanax
okay, but I still have to stay on the,
on the
Right,
VOP.
yeah.
You have to have your lawyer file a motion for that.
It might be in your interest not to bond out, so you get credit for the time you're spending. So it's actually kind of in your interest that you're not bond, consider it bonded or charged or stuff.
no, I haven't bonded.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Nicholas Adler.
Mr. Adler, this is 19 CF 11237. You were arrested for robbery with a firearm, aggravated assault with a firearm, and grand theft third degree. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You're not to have any contact with Tiana Banfield or return to the TD Bank located at 4675 South Kirkman Road. State, would you like to be heard with respect to bond on count one?
Yes, Your Honor, looking at the four corners of the affidavit of Officer Adam Cortez. According to the witnesses, the defendant walked into the bank and said, y'all know what this is. He pointed a gun and demanded money. He was able to get away with $600 in cash. Several witnesses saw him get into a Ford Focus and flee to the scene. Another officer was able to see that vehicle. A number of the witnesses identified this defendant as one that had come into the bank and robbed them. Based on that, Your Honor, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond.
Mr. Jordan?
Your Honor, for now, we'll defer to the court.
All right. The state's met their burden to establish that there is proof evident or presumption great based upon the information contained in the probable cause affidavit, including the admissions of Mr. Adler. Bond on count one will remain at none. Bond on count two will be $5,000, and bond on count three will be $150.
So I just gotta wait on bond.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Childs One Allen.
Mr. Allen, you were here in 19 CF 10597. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for the offense of first-degree murder with a firearm. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms or have any contact with the victim's family members. State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Looking at the four corners of the very thoroughly written affidavit by Detective Michael Field, we believe this defendant should be held at no bond. Looks like this defendant and a co-defendant, Mr. Bush, went to the victim's residence. They had a conversation and then fired a shot at the victim. By the time officers arrived, the victim was slumped over in a folding chair with a gunshot wound. The victim then later just died at the hospital. The witnesses identify a blue Camry speeding away from the scene after a number of 911 calls that heard a pop. At that point, based on investigative techniques, the officers pull surveillance videos of houses on that street that have cameras. They're able to see this defendant and the co-defendant getting out of the same vehicle. This vehicle was stolen out of Ocala, Florida, I believe, and they tracked the phone number based on getting the DNA sample of blood that was in the vehicle on the passenger side. That was of the co-defendant, Mr. Bush. After he was apprehended, Mr. Bush then stated that it was Mr. Allen who committed the crime, along with Mr. Bush, based on retaliation of a previous murder that happened with a family member of Mr. Allen, and he did nothing to stop this defendant from committing that crime. Based on the number of eyewitnesses, the video, the DNA, and the co-defendant's testimony, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond. We'd ask for no contact with any of the victims or witnesses, no contact with the victim's family, as well as no contact with the co-defendant, Mr. Bush. No weapons, no firearms.
Mr. Jordan?
For now, Your Honor, I think this is better simple downtown.
Okay. So, Mr. Allen, I will add additionally, that you are not to have any contact with the co-defendant, Mr. Bush, in this matter. The state has met their burden at this time to establish that there is proof evident or presumption great based upon the affidavit for the arrest. So bond will remain at none at this time. Thank you, sir. Oh, thank you. Okay. Good morning, your name?
David Casanas.
Pardon me?
David Casanas.
All right. What about Mr. Boyd? He bonded? Okay. Mr. Casanas, you are here, sir, in 18 CF 11462. Sir, you failed to appear for trial on May 20th of 2019. It looks like that you were sentenced on this case, sir. So they're gonna be sending you over to DOC. Okay? Did they tell you what your sentence is? Yes? Okay. Good morning, your name?
Carrie DuBois.
Sir, you are here in 19 CF 11240. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine as well as driving while license suspended or revoked with 2 prior convictions. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Going to stay your bond at $2,500 on 19 CF 11239 as well as $1,000 in 19 CF 11240. I'm not going to revoke your bond today in 19 CF 423. Sir, you cannot drive without a valid driver's license. If I see you before me again in first appearance, I'm revoking all of your bonds.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
All right, sir. Does he have an out-of-county warrant as well?
Did I miss it?
Yes. Is there a bond on that?
Should I have that, Jenny?
No, it's a child support.
Oh, okay. I saved the bonds on both, but.
She did not revoke her. So the bond has it. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Shaquille Ellis.
Mr. Ellis, you are here in 18 CF 17787. Sir, you failed to appear for arraignment on March 12th of this year. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you if they weren't previously appointed. You'll have to have your lawyer file a motion in the trial court to see if you can get a bond, sir. Okay, thank you.
And now you're gonna need a bond here for supervision.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Felix Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez, this is 19 CF 11231. You were arrested for possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is 500. Your bond on count 2 is 100. Thank you, sir.
This one? Did you have any questions?
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Terry Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, this is 19 CF 11248. You were arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer, sir. Your bond on that matter is $2,500. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you for all your cases this morning. You also have 19 CF 11247. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. Your bond will be $150. You also were arrested for open container, that's 19 MO 1427, and your bond will be $100, sir. Thank you.
Do you have any questions? Subsidiaries. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Veronica Levine.
Miss Levine, you are here in 17 CF 8905. It's alleged that you violated your probation by committing the new law offense of an out-of-county warrant for driving while license suspended with knowledge. There's probable cause for the violation of probation, ma'am. Your bond in that matter will be set at none. Actually, I'm gonna set your bond at $3,500 on the violation of probation in 17 CF 8905. And ma'am, you have the out-of-county warrant for the operating vehicle while your license is suspended. That bond is $2,000.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll get the permit. Thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Morning, Joshua Lynn.
Mr. Lynn, you're here in 19 CF 710. You failed to appear, sir, for arraignment on March 5th of this year. Your bond in that matter is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You'll have to have your lawyer file a motion with the judge in the trial court to see if you can get a bond. And then I'll take no action on 19 CF 1158.
Is there any way I can find out when the court date would be?
Well, right now, you just got an attorney appointed to it. so you
Yeah,
don't have
they'll
any-
have to reset it, but get in contact with your lawyer, sir, and they'll be able to give you all that information and file a motion for you.
They'll try to get you in front of a judge for a bond hearing even before this case is. So how about you contact them? I just gave you some information.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Lucy Maldonado.
Ms. Maldonado, this is 17 CF 1335. You failed to appear for pretrial conference on May 29th of 2018. Your bond is set at none, ma'am. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you if you weren't previously appointed.
I believe a private attorney is on this case, Your
No.
Honor.
Oh, all right. I'm not aware of that.
No, I don't have a private attorney.
Previously, a notice of appearance was filed by Natalia Majaya?
It might be a public defender, but it's not a private attorney.
All right. I'm appointing the public defender, ma'am, to represent you, okay?
Okay.
No, it's a public, she's a public defender.
Okay,
okay.
yeah.
All right. All right, thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Trevor Manson Lombardo.
Sir, you're here in 19 CF 11232. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victim in this case, sir. Do you work at Hummus House?
No, I actually work at John B. Webb.
Okay, so you're not
And-
allowed to return to the Hummus House.
I would note that the victim is never named. Does the state have the victim's identity?
I know.
He's referred to as V1 throughout the police report.
I don't have to.
I think. Anyhow, so you don't work, you have to, you can't return to the Hummus House, you can't possess any weapons or any firearms, sir, okay? And your bond is $2,500. Good morning, your name?
Devontae Miller.
Mr. Miller, you are here in 19 CF 11242. You were arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude, resisting officer without violence, and grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Your bond on count 3 is $150. And I'm revoking the bond in 19 CF 9829. That bond will be set at none.
And, Your Honor, we'd ask that the public defender be appointed to that case.
Yes, okay.
And I can now, because you revoked your ad hoc. You did not have an attorney previously. He is an appointment today, so we're going to go both cases. And now, we have to get bond hearing in this case.
good morning, your name?
Thomas Arthur Pugh, Your Honor.
Mr. Pugh, this is 19 CF 11235. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Thank
Your
you.
bond, sir, is $1,000, and I will take no action on 19 CF 6357.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So you will be able to find out if there's a potential. Do you have any questions? No.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Good morning, your name?
Walter Pringle.
Mr. Pringle, this is 19 CF 11245. You were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of amphetamine, possession of olazapam, possession of tetrahydrocannabis, and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count one's $2,500. Your bond on count two is $150. Your bond on count three is $150. Your bond on count four is $150. Your bond on count five is $100. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Shirley Lynn Wells.
Miss Wells, this is 19 CF 10804. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer with a motor vehicle, fleeing and attempting to elude a police officer, and resisting officer with violence. Your bond on count one is $10,000. Your bond on count two is $5,000. Your bond on count three is $2,500. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is the hold in Clay County for? Okay, so it looks like maybe rather than till then, we can certainly challenge.
Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Byron Moore.
Mr. Moore, this is 19 MO 1429. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. There is probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Moore?
Adjudication credit for time served, 2 days.
Mr. Moore, would you like to accept that offer this morning?
I could not hear it clearly.
It's credit for time served.
Yes.
All right, sir. I just need you to sign the plea form, please. Mr. Moore, did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
I understand that.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
Sir, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You'll also have to pay court costs. Those are due by August 8th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Jeremiah Atkins.
Mr. Atkins, this is 19MM 6574. You were arrested for trespass in a structure. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the Florida Mall, sir. Your bond is $250.
He wants to resolve his adjudication credit for time served.
He looks like he's on
Believe so.
probation.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Questions, sir?
No.
The reason we're not resolving it today is because of probation. Our probation.
Good morning, your name?
Musette La Fortune.
Sir, you were here in 19MM 6570. You were arrested for petty theft.
Yes.
There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer for Mr. LaFortune?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. LaFortune, I will release you on your own recognizance at this time, sir. You're not to return to the Marshall's store at 730 West Sand Lake Road. Do you understand, sir? They're gonna give you a court date when you're released from the jail. Make sure you keep that and you show up to court, otherwise they're gonna arrest you and you're not gonna have a bond. All right? Thank you, sir.
Was the public defender's office
Yes.
appointed? Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, your name?
Cedric Sennett.
Sir, you're here in 19MM 6569. You were arrested for disorderly conduct
Uh-huh.
and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Sennett?
No, Your Honor.
Yeah. Yesterday when you arrested me, the cop said he was gonna let me go because there was no reason to keep me. But then
I think we did pre-call the version on the auto.
I resist. He thought that. you arrest me for something,
I'm gonna
you should know the
stay the
details.
bond at 500 on count one. I'm going to stay the bond at 100 on count two. I'm revoking the ROR in 19 CF 2478 at this time. Thank you, Mr. Senate.
Your Honor, would you consider setting a bond in that case?
No. Thank you.
So you are being held no bond. You're gonna have to go back to the judge and have that hearing.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to contact with your attorney in that case.
Wait.
Public defender in that case.
Wait, come on. Excuse me, Miss Amy
Yes, sir.
Carter? You say I'm being held without bond?
That's right.
That mean you're gonna keep me here for, until when?
Until your case is resolved or until the trial judge sets a bond for you.
Okay, do you know I was out on a program so I can just do my drug and alcohol and be done?
Now, I understand, sir, but my concern is that you are back. The facts at the mall are similar to the other facts that I just read, and alcohol was again involved, and I have concerns about the safety of the public. That's why I've revoked your bond.
So,
Thank you, sir. We're done. Thank you. Jenny, I may have said the bonds backwards, but it's, just leave the bond state as is. Okay, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Dane Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Osceola County for a violation of probation related to a driving while license suspended or revoked. Your bond is set at none, sir. Osceola County is going to come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Joel Santiago.
Mr. Santiago, this is 18 CF 2926. This is an add-on violation of probation out of Osceola County. Based upon committing a new law offense of credit card abuse or lesser included offense on August 2nd, 2019 in Dallas County, Texas. That you were arrested on 8/6 for the offense by Orlando Police Department. There is probable cause, sir. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your bond will be set at none, and Osceola County is going to come pick you up when you get there, or you'll see a judge when you get there, sir.
They told me Texas is picking me up first. That's
Who?
right. Texas.
Oh, I don't know, sir. I don't
Yeah,
know. I think
'cause
you'd probably
I-
deal with the Osceola County first, but I can't be sure.
All right. Because I got kidnapped in Texas and
Okay.
that my truck got stolen and all that. I was in a police car chasing them. They
Sir, I'm gonna just
arrested
stop
them.
you. I don't want you to talk to me about your facts of the
But-
case in Texas, because I don't want it to
But
be
there's
used
no
against you
probable
later.
cause
she
for
doesn't-
me to violate.
I don't have any jurisdiction over Texas, sir, but I just have to go based upon what's in this affidavit. So you may have a defense, but you'll have to talk to your lawyer about that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
That's it.
Take this one.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Kia Gibson.
Ms. Gibson, you were here in 19 CF 11185. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause, ma'am. You also have 19 CF 1184. You're arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. There's also probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you on all the cases, as well as 19 CF 5817, driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. 19 CF 11185, your bond on count 1 is going to be 500. Your bond on count 2 is 100. 19 CF 11184, your bond will be $150. And in 19 CT 5817, your bond will be $100. Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, I would note she qualifies for pretrial diversion. She has no prior drug arrests or convictions and no prior driving while license suspended convictions either.
Okay, I'll place Ms. Gibson on pretrial release.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That way, you don't have to pay anything to work it out. You just gotta get in contact.
Got it, Ronnie Thomas is downtown court.
Okay. We'll reset Mr. Thomas then.
Use it.
Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
What's your name?
Tell me your name, please.
My name is Derek Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez, this is 19MM 5595. This is your determination of counsel hearing. I've reviewed your affidavit seeking the appointment of the public defender. You do qualify, sir, and I will appoint their office to represent you.
All right.
Has an information been filed on Mr. Hernandez?
No, Your Honor.
No. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Are we ready for a 33-day?
One second.
Sure.
State's ready.
19 CF 9034, Hugel Filsane.
She granted the state filed a notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
That will be granted. Nineteen CF 9663, Silka Sanchez.
She granted the state filed a notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 19 CF 9669, Robert DeLuca.
She granted the state filed a notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
19 CF 9685, Charles Malik.
That she granted the state filed a notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
And 19 CF 9671, David Dodson.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 8/7.
That will be denied. 19 CF 3780, Marco Cruz.
Should be granted the state filed a notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 8560, Anthony Dunn.
That should be granted the state filed a notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 19 CF 8570, Anthony Dunn.
That should be granted the state filed a notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 19 CF 8073, Marcall Graham.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 8/7.
Will be denied. 19 CF 9690, Samuel Chirina. CF-791 Courtney Millette.
That should be granted a state file notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That'll be granted. 19 CF-7321 Herbert Mitchell.
That should be granted a state file notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 19 CF-9667 Dimitri Navidal.
That should be granted a state file of no information.
That will be granted. 19 CF-8189 Charlene Bunyan.
Should be denied a state file of information on 8/7.
Amy Carter, this is courtroom 1, session 2. If I could have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please.
Matthew Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
Jody Jordan with Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Tell me your name, please.
Roxana Castro.
Ms. Castro, you are here in 19 CF 11254. You were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of heroin, and three counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150. And your bond on count 3, 4, and 5 is $100. And I'm not going to take any action on 19 CF 5306. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Questions? I'm going to give you some paperwork.
Sir, good afternoon. Your name, please?
Nicholas Densler?
Mr. Densler, is that correct?
Yes.
Sir, this is 19 CF 11256. You were arrested for possession of ecstasy and loitering or prowling. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Densler, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. Make sure you stay in contact with your lawyer and show up for your court date. Otherwise, you're going to get rearrested and have no bond. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Kristen Ford.
Mr. Ford, this is 19 CF 11255. You were arrested for carrying a concealed firearm. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sir, do you have any questions? I'm going to give you some paperwork right now. Do you have any questions? I'm just going to give you this paperwork. Place it under conditions. You can leave. Process you. Alex.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Calvin Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, this is 19 CF 11250. You were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of methamphetamine. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. You were also arrested in 19 MO 14330 for being in the park after dark. There is probable cause for that offense as well, sir, and I'll appoint the public defender. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance in both cases. At this time, make sure that you stay in contact with your lawyer, sir, so that you get notice of your next court date. Otherwise, if you fail to appear for court, they'll issue a warrant for your arrest with no bond.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
So you're on hold with the keys in the park after dark? After hours, sorry.
2019 MO 1430.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, your name?
John Joshua Weidler.
Mr. Weidler, this is 19 CF 11252. You were arrested, sir, for possession of cocaine, possession of methamphetamine, and possession of fentanyl. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time, sir. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, your name?
Tanya Barton.
Ms. Barton, this is 19 MM 4169. You were arrested for failing to appear for arraignment on June 13th of this year. Your bond is $2,000, ma'am, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Oh, you have an offer?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your Honor, I've discussed the offer with my client. The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return. This is a petty theft. I have spoken with her about that. She does wish to accept the offer and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay. Where is she not to return to?
I had it written down before.
The Walmart, I think the Walmart, give me 1 second, John.
Sure.
Yeah, Walmart on East Colonial.
Ms. Barton, if you could just sign the plea form, please.
It's the Walmart Superstore 11250 East Colonial Drive.
Thank you. Ms. Barton, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, how many days?
2 days.
You have, okay, so I'll sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You're also gonna have to pay court costs, which are due by August 8th of 2020. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, and you cannot return to the Walmart at 11250 East Colonial Drive, ma'am. Okay? Thank you. Good afternoon, your name?
Douglas Aldrich.
Mr. Aldrich, this is 19 CT 5848. You were arrested for driving while license suspended. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $500 in that case. I'm gonna take no action in 19 CF 669.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did Mr. Hoban?
3 Charlies.
And what about Mr. Jordan?
Rhonda.
Are you Miss Simmons?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Simmons, you're here in 19 CT 5853. You were arrested for operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $500, and I'm not going to take any action on 19 CF 10310. Thank you, ma'am. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Pierre Richard Barthelme.
Sir, you are here in 19 MM 6575. You were arrested for battery. There's probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with Kendra Alsey, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your bond is $500, and in 17 CT 6247, sir, I'm revoking that bond. That will be set at none. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I would note that the arresting officer did mention some suspicious Notes, the victim did not have any visible injuries. She was extremely calm and methodical, despite the fact she said she had just been in a life-threatening situation. The defendant denied any allegations, and despite the fact that there were multiple roommates, none of them witnessed any altercation.
It's just concerning to me, Mr. that he's out on bond on a violation of probation to begin with.
And that judge did give him a bond in that violation of probation, which is rather unusual. That bond was set at $3,000. Normally, a violation of probation, we wouldn't see that.
All right, I'll take into consideration the facts of the new law offense. I'll leave the bond intact on the violation of probation. But knowing that the probation officer may file an amended violation of probation, sir, and the judge could decline to give you a bond. All right? March on that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, your name, sir?
Dustin Northcutt.
Mr. Northcutt, this is 19 MM 6578. You were arrested for disorderly intoxication and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Northcutt?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer from the state is a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, as well as no return to the SeaWorld or any properties. I have spoken to my client before court. He does wish to accept that offer.
Sure. I just need you to sign the plea form, sir.
This will now count as conviction on your record.
Where am I signing?
You're signing a plea form in order to say that you are admitting guilt.
Mr. Northcutt, did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
No, I can't read.
Okay. Do you need, Mr. Jordan, will you take a minute and I'll explain it to you, sir. So do you understand that you have a right to have a trial and have a jury decide whether you're guilty or innocent?
I don't understand.
You don't understand, okay. So you don't, there's specific rights that you have, right, when you're charged with a crime, okay?
Yeah.
By entering into a plea today, you're gonna give up those rights. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so those rights would include having a jury decide if you're guilty or innocent. They would include making the state of Florida prove that you're guilty, being able to cross-examine any witnesses that the state may put on to prove your guilt, and being able to put on any witnesses that you may have in your defense. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you understand that you're giving up those rights by entering this plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you'll no longer be able to contest the evidence that the state may have against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of that?
No. Am I getting released today?
You are, sir.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir, are you on probation?
No,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
no. I'm U.S. citizen? Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'll accept your plea, withhold adjudication as to both counts, sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail, or is it 2 days? 2 days? 1 day? 1 day in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. You're also going to have to pay court costs. Those are due by by August 8th of 2020. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, and you're not allowed to return to SeaWorld, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
That means I'm good.
Now today, you can process your.
Good afternoon, your name?
William Henry Stouffer.
You say Mr. Stoffer? Stouffer.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stouffer, this is 19 MM 6576. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Stouffer?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer from the state was an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and court costs. I have spoken with the defendant prior to court. He does wish to accept that offer.
Sure. Mr. Stouffer, I just need you to sign the plea form.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I got one right here.
No. That's for you to keep.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, you have it for your records. You know what you signed. It's the exact same copy. They're just giving you one to keep, and then that's for the judge. You have any questions about anything? Did you read it? Have a chance to read it full course?
Mr. Stouffer, did you read the plea form before you signed it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about anything in the plea form?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court
No,
today?
ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 1 day time served. You will have to pay court costs. Those are due by August 8th of 2020. So you have 1 year from today. And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Brandon Vanover.
Mr. Vanover, this is 19 MO 1431. You were arrested for camping. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was an offer relayed to Mr. Vanover?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served. I have spoken with the defendant beforehand. He does wish to accept that offer and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay.
It's 1 day, Your Honor.
1 day?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Vanover, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
Far as that go, no, straight to the courthouse to pay my court costs.
All right. Are you on probation, sir?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes,
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
no, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 1 day time served. You will have to pay court costs. Those are due by August 8th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court.
By any chance, can I do that today? Because I have like 2 checks where I got to go pick up from my boss man, so I'll be caught up on
Sure,
court costs.
absolutely. You can
Thank
pay
you.
them anytime between now and 1 year from today.
Okay.
All right, sir?
Thank you.
Christopher Lavina is behavior.
Your Honor, statement requested to not be reset again. It was behavior, yesterday as well.
Yeah, I'm finding a waiver of Mr. Lavina's appearance based upon his inability to attend court due to his behavior. It was reset from yesterday as well. This is 19 CF 11215. He was arrested for fleeing and eluding, resisting officer without violence, reckless driving, and driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. Bond on count 1 is going to be $5,000. Bond on count 2 is going to be 100. Bond on count 3, 100. Bond on count 4, 100. And 19 CF 2616, I'm revoking that bond. That will be set at none. That's the only one. He also has 19 CF 11214. He was arrested for battery on a corrections officer, 2 counts, resisting a corrections officer with violence and resisting a corrections officer with violence. There's probable cause for those offenses. Bond on count 1 is $1,500, bond on count 2 is $150, bond on count 3 is $150, bond on count 4 is $150.
We were in the CT case as well. He had 2 hour bonds for us.
The battery on a law enforcement officer, right?
And a DUI.
And also on the CT case, yes. Good afternoon, your name?
Roderick St. Rose, ma'am.
Sir, this is 19 CF 11213. You were arrested for possession of cocaine.
Yes, ma'am.
There is probable cause, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You also have 19 MO 1425, which is an open container. There's probable cause for that offense, sir. Again, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. Make sure you stay in contact with your lawyer. That way you have your next court date. If you do fail to appear, a warrant will be issued for your arrest, and it will likely have no bond, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
No? All right, then we will be in recess until 9 a.m.